Wisdom, the final frontier to true knowledge. Welcome to Wisdom Trek, where our mission is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. Hello, my friend. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your captain on our journey to increase wisdom and create a living legacy. Thank you for joining us today as we explore wisdom on our second millennium of podcast. This is day 1377 of our trek, and time for our 3-minute mini trek called Humor Unplugged. Our Thursday podcast will provide you with a clean and short funny story to help you to lighten up and live a rich and satisfying life. Something to cheer you and provide a bit of levity in your life. We are told in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 30, "A cheerful look brings joy to the heart. Good news makes for good health." We are also encouraged by Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22. "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength." Consider this your vitamin supplement of cheer for today. So let's jump right in with today's funny, which is titled, "The Race Was On." Jim was driving down the highway late one night when his minivan broke down, so he coasted to the side of the road. He turned on his flashers and tried to call Sally, his wife, but there was no cell signal. Jim wasn't sure what he was going to do, since it was about 10 miles to the nearest town. Jim decided that he would stand in the headlights slightly ahead of his van and would try to get someone's attention to help him as they drove by. He heard off in the distance what sounded like a high-speed sports car, and sure enough, he soon saw the car racing toward him. Jim stood close to the road and waved his arms frantically, hoping to be seen. The driver of the car, which happened to be a Lamborghini Countach, starts to slow down and pulls up beside the minivan and rolls down the passenger window. Jim approaches tentatively and says, "I'm Jim Snow, and my van won't start. I hate to impose, but any chance I can get a lift into town?" The other driver, always glad to show off his Lamborghini, said, "Nice to meet you, Jim. I'm Stanley Rothschild, and I can do better than that. I've got a V12 under the hood and a tow bar in the trunk. I can tow you to the nearest town, no problem." Jim and Stanley worked together and got the minivan securely fastened. Stanley told Jim, "You get in the driver's seat of your van and keep an eye on everything, and just honk your horn and flash your lights if I start going too fast." At that, Stanley jumped in his Lamborghini, and they were off down the road. About halfway to town, they stopped at a red light, and up pulls a Ferrari F40 with a V10. Stanley looked over to see his friend Jordan from the country club. Jordan, amused with Stanley's situation, couldn't help himself, and with a big smile on his face, he begins to rev the Ferrari F40 engine. He motioned to Stanley to race. Both Stanley and Jordan were very competitive, so Stanley revs his Lamborghini Countach engine just as the light turns green. With the squealing of tires, they both fly out of there, and the race was on. Little did they suspect, about a half mile down the road, they passed a speed trap with Officer Taylor, calmly sitting in his patrol car with his lights off, but his radar on. Officer Taylor watches them pass at such a high speed that it startled him, and he knew he'd be very hard-pressed to catch up with them. After a few seconds, he radios the base saying, "Base, this is Officer Taylor. You won't believe what I just saw. A Ferrari F40 and a Lamborghini Countach were driving down the road doing about 120 miles an hour with a minivan honking his horn and flashing his lights right behind them trying to pass." I hope that brought a smile to your face today. If it did, pass that smile on to someone else. We could all use a kind smile every day. Our Thursday thought is, have you ever noticed that anybody driving slower than you is an idiot? And anyone going faster than you is a maniac? Here is our verse for today, one that you may not be familiar with, and it is from Nahum chapter 2, verse 4. "The chariots race recklessly along the streets and rush wildly through the square. They flash like firelight and move as swiftly as lightning." And just as you enjoyed these nuggets of humor, please encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 1,376 treks or read the Wisdom Journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. And I encourage you to subscribe to Wisdom Truck on your favorite podcast player so that each day will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you tomorrow for Philosophy Friday.